Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. My name is Dr. Muhammad Safri bin Muhammad Naim. I'm from Center of Foundation Studies, University Technology Mara, Cawangan Selangor Campus Dengkir, Selangor, Malaysia. Today I'm going to present the topic on analyzing ministerial reasons for banning books under the Printing Presses and Publication Act 1984. Let's begin with the introduction. The publication of book reflects the advancements of a country's civilizations. This right is affirmed by Article 10, Clause 1 of the Federal Constitution, which guarantees every person the right to freedom of speech and expressions. However, this right is subject to certain limitations that may be imposed by Parliament, as prescribed in Article 10, Clause 2 of the Federal Constitution. Among the laws governing this freedom is the Printing, Presses and Publication Act 1984. Section 7, Subsection 1 of the Printing, Presses and Publication Act 1984 empowers the minister to prohibit publication whose content is or is likely to be prejudicial to public order, morality, and security or other specified interests. Moving on to problem statement. Freedom of expression guaranteed by Article 10, Clause 1 of the Federal Constitution is subject to restrictions under Article 10, Clause 2 in the interest of public order, morality, and security. Section 7, Subsection 1 of the Printing, Presses and Publication Act 1984 empowers the minister to ban publication deemed prejudicial to this interest. However, the section does not expressly require the minister to provide reasons for such a ban. So this lack of a statutory clarity raises concerns over transparency, accountability, and adherence to the principle of natural justice. Although the Court of Appeal in Menteri Dalam Negeri and another, and Chong Ton Sin and another, did not explicitly impose such a requirement, the reasoning in the judgment implies that the minister should not only state the reason for a ban under Section 7, but also briefly explain it. This judicially implied principle remained unqualified in the statutes, creating uncertainty and raising the question of whether Section 7 should be amended to expressly require the minister to provide both a reason and explanations when exercising this power. In terms of research methodology, this research adopts a doctrinal legal methodology involving a detailed analysis of the Federal Constitution, the Printing, Presses and Publications Act 1984, and relevant case law as primary sources. In addition, it draws on secondary sources such as textbook, journal articles, and scholarly writings related to the issue. Both primary and secondary legal materials were retrieved from UiTM's online databases, including CLJ Prime and Lexis Advanced Malaysia. The data collected were examined analytically and critically with a focus on the requirement for the minister to provide reasons for prohibiting the publications of a book, as well as the justification for restricting the right to freedom of expression under Section 7 of the Printing, Presses and Publication Act 1984. Let's have a look at the key finding from this research. The Printing, Presses and Publication Act 1984 is the principal legislation governing the publication in Malaysia. It originated from the Printing Press Ordinance 1948, which was enacted by the British government prior to Malaysian independence. Following the tragic event of 13th of May 1969, the law was revised, resulting in the enactment of the Printing Press Act 1948 and the Control of Imported Publication Act 1958. Eventually, key findings.